We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but we them nothing but Niners.
Click, boom! Y'all heard it right there, man. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and we're here to bring you guys a fun-filled show, man. I feel like today we're going to bat for some people, but we're going to get to all of that stuff, guys. First, got to go through the formalities. If this is your first time here on the YouTube page, guys, make sure you hit that like button, okay? It's going to help other people find us, so we appreciate that. Turn on those notifications, and make sure you are subscribed. That way you know exactly when we are going live, okay? Give us a follow on our Twitter and our Snapchat handles. Those are Nothing But 9 ERS. That is nothing but the number 9 ERS. You can give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to the Facebook community out there. I know you guys are watching too. Those pages are Nothing But Niners. That's spelled out with spaces in between. We have 2 different websites we want you guys to hit us up on, okay? www.nothingbutniners.com, okay? There you're going to see articles, videos, podcasts, everything is over there, okay? Make sure you guys stop by, show us some love on that site. And if you're looking for some apparel, Breezy rocking the shirt over there. You're looking for some apparel, make sure you guys stop by. My bad, wrong one. Shop nb9ers.com. That is shop nb9ers.com. Okay. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, feedback, anything like that at all, requests, send us an email, guys. nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL. And over here to my left on your screen, my right in real life, my man Breezy, 49ers Breezy, BREEZIE on Twitter. What's up, big dog?
Breezy! What's going on, man? What's going on, everybody out there? How y'all feeling? Sunday, man.
I'm feeling good, man. I've been working, went out for a walk with the family and everything, man. Got my 49ers fixing early this morning. I watched the Panthers game. Whoa. You know what I mean? Like I'm going through it all, man. And here we are, this quarantine life, man. I don't know how people do it. I'll be honest with you, man. I have no idea how people are doing it, man. But I don't want to start complaining. How you doing this Sunday, brother?
Yo, man, I woke up this morning. Felt great, man. Went to record a live church session, you know what I'm saying? Getting back to church and all that type of stuff, man. And then I had to go check out an organ. Somebody was selling an organ, so I went to go look at that. Picked up a saxophone while I was there because he said he was looking to sell a sax. I was like, oh, let me grab me a sax, you know what I'm saying? Then I started coming home prepping for our show, man. And we came to bring you guys a great power hour of Kendrick Bourne, man. This show is all about Bourne. Hint the title, Bourne Identity. And Mike came up with that. And we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about why Mike titled it Bourne Identity. Now, we went back and forth with these titles, like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So, Mike, better talk to him real quick, man.
You know what? My biggest concern was trying to make sure that we're doing this the right way because we don't want to do my man any injustice, right? We want to make sure that what we're bringing to the table is going to represent Kendrick Bourne the right way. And you guys know about the whole Bourne series, right? And there's a whole bunch of different, names and everything for him. And I was like, we should do like, the supremacy or identity or, like the legacy, right? Like which one is this? Man, we went back and forth, but we settled on the Bourne Identity.
Yeah, we went back to the first one, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like where Bourne started, you know what I'm saying? And it makes perfect sense. And we're going to break down Kendrick Bourne and his role with the 49ers since he became a 49er in 2017. So we do have a special guest today. We're going to have my man on the show. He's going to come up here and he's going to talk a little bit about Kendrick Bourne. And my man Avery, Mr. Cortez, he is the husband of the wife that, painted those special pictures for each and every one of the members from Nothing But Niners. So we'll have him on the show a little bit to talk about that and to talk about his wife's painting job and things that she's doing. All right. So we'll bring him on a little bit later. So shout out to my man Avery, man. All right. So let's kick off this show. All right. Kendrick Bourne. Go ahead.
Wait. Before we get to Bourne, we got to go through the 49ers.
Oh, my bad. I forgot. You got the news. My bad.
And there's not a lot. But I did see a thread on Twitter today, right? and it was talking about how many players on your favorite football team are above average.
Oh my gosh, how did I miss this one?
Okay, now it was from I believe it was Ledyard. Let me see here. Yeah, John Ledyard. He said the 49ers have 12. Okay, on offense he listed Jimmy Garoppolo, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Trent Williams, the new addition. Okay, Mike McGlinchey and Kyle Juszczyk.
Wow, he had McGlinchey up there. All right.
Okay, keep that thought. Keep that thought. On defense, he listed Bosa, Armstead, Sherman, Ford, Warner, and Ward. Now, I gotta know, man. I'm gonna go back to where you hesitated. You said, "Oh, he got McGlinchey up there."
All right. So how can we just only focus on his list? Because I don't want to add players to this. I just want to focus on the guys that he talked about. Let's go back to the offense. Can you reread the offensive list players for me real quick?
These are players that are supposed to be above average in the league. Okay. Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay. Deebo Samuel. George Kittle. Trent Williams. Mike McGlinchey. And Kyle Juszczyk.
So first, he had Jimmy G as above average. That's a shocker because we're not used to hearing Jimmy G. From all the backlash that Jimmy gets, he doesn't seem like he's an above average quarterback. Even though in some of the eyes of us, he plays above average, and we think that a lot of the beat writers don't even have him above average. So that's shocker number one. But my shocker on his whole offensive list, and I think, we could talk about who we may add to the offensive list before we go to the defense. I just want to talk about Mike McGlinchey because if you guys watched the show, and clearly he didn't watch the show, but if you guys watched the show, we talked about McGlinchey's stats and, whether it was due to injury or whatnot, man, he totally regressed his sophomore year. Like he went down, baby. Yo Street in the Range Rover. Oh,
you watched the battle? You watched the battle?
I watched the battle, bro. You know what I'm saying? But his stats were way down. He was very more or less productive last season. So I'm not sure that I thought he and this goes to why I put Mike McGlinchey overrated. See?
Yep.
So talk about who's the shocker on that offensive list that you got?
That's definitely the shocker right there for me is Mike McGlinchey. I can't see a world where he's above. Now let's be clear here because I tweeted out, I said based on two seasons McGlinchey is average. Okay. Now my point with this is his first season, I would say he was average. Okay, he was there. He was right there.
He was reaching like above average.
Right.
He was B plus ish.
Right.
And then
he was right there. He was right there on the line. His first season.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But the next year, no. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. The next year, it was a big no for me. So if I'm looking at these 2 years together, there's no way I can call him an above average player. He's average at best. Now I tweeted this out. And our guy Stewart hit me and he was like, McGlinchey is an above average pass protector, one of the best run blockers in the league. Him being on the list should not surprise anyone. Now, my thing was this. We went back and forth and then he settled on there aren't 15 right tackles that I would take above Mike McGlinchey. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. This is where we sit here and start trying to look at this a little bit better, right?
Got you.
Is being at 50% considered above average?
According to the curve.
Is it though?
But it depends. It obviously they're using a bell curve, right? Like obviously they're using some type of curve where 50 is a C, right? And you know what I'm saying? Because they just weren't that all right, there's 32 right tackles, right? That start in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying he, I guess what it was rating was a 50, which is an F, but that's less than the F too, because you said he had him at 15. So that's a little bit higher.
Well, he was saying I wouldn't take 15 other right tackles above him.
Right. So that means he's 15. Out of 32, he's 15. So that's better than, that's a little bit above 50% is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But that's still not a good grade.
I'm right there with you, bro. Like, that's why I was like, that don't mean he's average to me. To me, that didn't mean that he was average. That's, or not even average. That doesn't mean that he's above average. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
All right. I'll tell you what. Let's say I gave Mike McGlinchey an 88 his rookie year. An 88. That's like a B plus. That for being a first round pick, I thought he played like every snap. For being a first round pick, I thought this guy was for sure going to be, the guy at right tackle. Remember, we slid him over to right tackle. We still had Joe Staley. Mm-hmm. Well, this past season, let's say I gave him a 75. So if you do 88 and 75, you divide him by 2, like that's going to be like kind of where he averages out. I
mean, that's what is that, 81 or so? That's still a B. I mean,
that's not above average B though. That's like I mean, that's average to me. You get what I'm saying? Once you get to the 80, if he would have remained at an 88 to an 89, then he's getting to I'll say 88 to like a 93 number. That's above average. And then no, that's average. And then anything above 93 is above average. That's how I would look at it.
Above 93 is above average?
Yeah, so if you get above 93, that 92 mark, like you're almost to elite.
Right.
Like you're on your way to eliteness.
So, and I just didn't see it from a man. I mean, and I like McGlinchey, and I do think he can have a big step forward. I think that there's a lot of room for improvement for him. And the cool stuff with McGlinchey is that he has shown all the signs of ability.
Oh yeah.
We have seen it for sure. So I have no doubt that he is going to be a lot better this coming season and going forward throughout his career. So I don't want people to think that I'm hating on him. I didn't have him as an above average player in this system.
At least not in 2019.
Right.
At least not in 2019. Now, is there anyone on the offensive side that you would like to add to that list? You get what I'm saying?
So one of John Ledier's little caveats to his list, because he did a lot for the different teams, was to exclude specialists.
Okay.
Now, does that mean that I can't include Raheem Mostert? Because as far as an efficiency rating goes, this guy is through the charts.
But I don't see why you can't include a guy that ended up becoming a starting running back.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know how this would count. I'm not trying to change up what Ledger is doing here, but who if Raheem Mostert was on the trade block, how many NFL teams do you think are calling to see what the compensation is?
31.
You think all so then how does he not make this list?
And I'm not saying that because I'm a homer, but look at his production from off the bench to start. He never skipped a beat. Hey man, come in and be the third down back. Come in and be on the second down. Come in. I mean, this dude was averaging like 11 yards a carry, like no matter when he came in the game, whether he started or not, his production was high. Dude had 5 touchdowns, like 4 touchdowns against the Green Bay Packers in a playoff game, bro. I mean,
right.
like on national TV. So it's not his fault. He still played special teams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So I don't understand like how he can't be in that. Plus, I mean, because of his production, because that would be the guy I would add as well, Mike. I'm glad. Mind you, Mike did not tell me any of this. He didn't even tag me in Ledger's tweet. Like, I didn't know. This is straight off the dome piece, right? Nah, but Mostert would be one of those above average players, and maybe it's because he was, I don't know, he got drafted late. I don't know what the caveat is, but you said the caveat was because he played special teams. I think that's kind of bullcrap because he doesn't just play special teams. You know what I'm saying? Right,
absolutely. And shout out to William Gillard. Appreciate the contribution here, my man. Here's another one here. Mike's upside is his with his youth is his value. And I agree. He's got a lot of upside, and he's going to get there. He doesn't even have his grown man strength yet. You know, he hasn't got to that 27, 28-year-old where that strength starts to settle in, and he can manhandle people for real, you know? He might not get that quickest get off, but once he get his hands on you, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mike's ceiling is up there for sure. But, you know, that's where we were going with that. Were there any other players on the offensive side of the ball that you think you would add? And what determines a specialist too? Like this is I can make this a whole show. I don't want to do that, but is a fullback a specialist anymore?
See, the way he's being used in our offense, wouldn't you consider him a specialist? Because he definitely had Kyle Juszczyk up there. Wouldn't you consider Deebo Samuel a specialist? Because he doesn't just line up. He's lining up in the backfield as well as on the split and, you know, the X, Y. So what is a specialist? Is it?
I'm assuming maybe he just meant special teams players like gunners, return men.
I'm thinking that too. Because other than that, I think every player that Kyle has on his team is some type of specialist, yo.
Right.
Like that's why they're working, man. That's why they're working.
All right. So that was it. Is there anybody else on the offensive side of the ball? I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. Is there anybody on the offensive side of the ball that you think we should add to this list? Above average.
I'm not shocked, but adding the rookie.
Oh no, that was he said you can't add rookies because we haven't seen him do anything in the NFL yet.
But no. I'm saying adding Deebo as a rookie, saying that he was above average, that's huge.
Yes, sir.
Who else would I add? You know,
I know it's tough, and like you said, this wasn't a.
If I tell you what though, if I could have got a full season out of Winston Richburg, I guarantee you he would have been above average.
Yeah, that boy was eating, man. That boy was eating. I was watching him in the Panthers game today, man. Oh my God, he's got to stay healthy. He has got to stay healthy, man. He stays healthy, man. Watch the F out. But yeah, all right. So, do you want to go over the defensive side of the ball? You want to move on? I mean, it's up to you.
How about we move on? We talk about Kendrick Bourne, and then before we bring Avery in, we bring the defensive side back with that same question. How's that sound?
All right,
man. Sounds like a plan. Now, what I have, I went old school, guys. I printed out motherfucking notes, and I highlighted the stuff too, yo. I was tired of using my iPad and stuff because I want to use my iPad for other things. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to talk a little bit about Kendrick Bourne. All right.
My man channeling his inner Tony over there. All you need is the pencil behind the ear.
Yo, it's crazy right now. Like, what's going on, man? Like, it's super crazy. But in 2017, a wide receiver out of Eastern Washington went undrafted in the 2017 NFL draft. That means 32 teams, not 31, but 32 teams passed on this wide receiver. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same year another wide receiver got drafted to the Los Angeles Rams. I could be a year off. I believe it was the same year. And I'm talking about Cooper Kupp. Same school. Could have been a different year. Don't quote me on that. I really don't care about any other players but ours. But let's talk about who Kendrick Bourne is. All right. Some fun facts about Kendrick Bourne. Now, tell me if you knew any of these things, right? He is raked. Now when I started researching Kendrick Bourne, I was like, well, guys, you know he's my favorite player, right? All right. So, all right, thanks, Dre. He came out, him and Cooper came out the same year. Oh, before I get into his fun facts, I have a little thing I want to talk about as far as his college career stats. Now, Kendrick Bourne was a 4-year wide receiver for Eastern Washington. And many of you are probably like, who is Eastern Washington and where the hell is Eastern Washington and things like that? Well, it's in Seattle. Kendrick Bourne is from the Portland area, and he went to that particular school. Now, check this out, right? When I was reading these, all I saw was progression. Year 1, 2013. Played 14 games, 7 receptions, 117 yards, 2 TDs. Year 2, 2014. Played 14 games, 52 receptions, 814 yards, 10 TDs. I don't have Cooper Kupp stats, but I definitely would love to see them compared because wait till I get to the last year. His 4th year, 2015. He played 11 games. He must have had a nagging injury or something like that. But his receptions went up by 21. He had 73 receptions, 998 yards, and 8 TDs. So he went up almost 100 and something in yards, dropped 2 TDs, went up 20 plus receptions. We're talking about a guy that can't catch. All right. 20s, hold that thought too. 2016, his senior year, he played all 14 games. He had 6 more receptions at 79. All right. He had 1,201 yards with 7 TDs. Now, I brought that I wanted to bring his college stats into retrospect with his NFL career. You got something, Mike?
I got Cup's numbers if you wanted to do a year-by-year comparison. Only if you wanted to do.
No, I would love that. I'm sure Cup's numbers are through the roof, but if I'm not mistaken, didn't Cooper Kupp test at the combine, whereas Bourne didn't?
Bro.
Read the numbers, bro.
All right, what year you want to start with again?
2020. Does he have numbers for 2013?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So he had God, I see what. All right. 93 receptions.
Dang.
1,691 yards. 21 touchdowns.
Yeah, 21 touchdowns.
Hey, I don't think we should do this, bro.
No, just go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm not comparing him to Cooper Kupp, but he was the number 2 to Cooper Kupp, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. 2014, he had 104 receptions, 1,431 yards.
So as you can see, Kendrick Bourne started eating up some of those yards.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
2015, 114 receptions, 1,642 yards. And 19 touchdowns.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp was eating.
And in 2016, 117 receptions, 1,700 even, 17 touchdowns. This man finished his 4-year career, 428 receptions, 6,464 yards, and 73 touchdowns. Bro.
Yo, who's the quarterback? Like, how did the quarterback not get drafted? He's throwing the balls. Right? Who was the quarterback? Because that is ridiculous. Yo, Cooper Kupp's numbers are through the roof. Cooper Kupp was also invited to the combine, whereas Kendrick Bourne wasn't. All right, but I wonder, and you gotta wonder and say, well, if this guy went undrafted, what did Kyle Shanahan see in Kendrick Bourne in 2017? Like, what made him sign Kendrick Bourne to that undrafted rookie free agent deal? Oh, word says that Bourne went to the combine. Okay. So I would love to. Does anybody have Bourne's combine stats? 40, 3-cone. That's pretty much all I'm looking for. Maybe his vertical jump. If you have that, please post that inside the in the chat.
So their quarterback was Gage Gabrod.
He's not even in the NFL, huh?
Let me make sure I'm looking at this right. Career passing. Yeah.
Dre said it was Vernon Adams. He was the quarterback at that.
At Eastern Washington?
Eastern Washington. No? All right, so...
Well, 2015 and 16, that's different. 2015 and 16. So these guys, he was there.
Uh-oh. Mike, I think you cut out for a quick second. All right, so we got Cooper Kupp's. We have Kendrick Bourne's 40 time was a 4.6. All right, so 4.6, which means he runs relatively slow. You're back, Mike.
Oh, okay. My son came in and turned the power off in here. So my stuff is going to disconnect again. I'm sorry, but yeah. So he was a quarterback for 2015 and 2019.
Okay. So Kendrick Bourne finished with he finished with 53 games played, 211 receptions, 3,130 yards, and 27 TDs. And clearly, he was a number 2 guy. He was a number 2 to Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp was the superstar receiver that got drafted by the Los Angeles Rams. And now we're going to go back to Kendrick Bourne. All right, so let's talk about his 2019 year, guys.
What was his 3-cone?
I don't think did they post the 3-cone? Wait a minute. Cooper Kupp ran a 4.6 as well. Same speed. They said that his vertical leap was 34 inches. Here we go. 4.68 was his 40. Vertical was 34. Broad was 125. 421 was his short shuttle, and his three cone was 673. Isn't that good? I need Tony to answer that question. I thought he said those were good three cone numbers.
What was his three cone? I'm sorry.
6.73.
Yes. That was what Bourne ran?
That was his three cone, bro.
Kendrick Bourne or Cup?
Kendrick Bourne.
Okay. All right. Okay.
This is why Kyle.
That's why Kyle Shanahan.
I knew. Yo, appreciate you guys out there, man. You guys are so much nothing but Niners and ain't even funny, yo. Look, man, I was trying to find those stats, yo, but my son had to pee like every 20 minutes because he's learning how to pee in the toilet now, and it was just like, how do you pee so much and you don't even drink? What? Like, what's going on? So I had to get up every 20 minutes. Listen, sub 7 is three cone is fire. That's what people are saying. Listen, and that is why. Is. So let's talk about Kendrick Bourne, man. Now, I got some fun, interesting facts. Now, the one fun fact about Kendrick Bourne before we get into like his 2019 stats. Did you guys know that Kendrick Bourne is 54 out of 359 receivers for the San Francisco 49ers? So he's ranked number 54 out of 359. All time
for 49ers.
All time, bro.
Not a starter.
Oh, not a starter, bro.
Not drafted.
No, I want to brag about that.
Oh, like, no. I'm talking my shit. Trust me.
Yo, this guy undrafted. All right, now I have the 359 are all the people that went out for a pass reception catch, whether it was a quarterback or whatnot. He's ranked number 54. All right. Now, here's the thing. Those numbers were great too. He signed a 1-year tender for 2020. All right. 3.259 million to play for the 49ers. He will be an unrestricted free agent in 2021. Now, I know we are sitting here saying, guys, Kendrick Bourne this, Kendrick Bourne that. Is he good? Is he not good? Does he drop the ball? Does he not? Blah, 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 all that good stuff. I can tell you what right now, though, if you're following Kendrick Bourne on any of his social media sites, that boy's putting in work. And I'm not talking about, going to Wendy's, going to, McDonald's. Now I'm talking about working out work. Like he's back at home. He's training. Like every other day you're seeing videos. He's working on cone drills. He's working on pass catching. And
he's doing weight. He's doing flexibility. He's doing everything, bro.
I'm sitting here.
Listen, and he's not even out there like doing just receiver drills. He's doing hand-eye coordination drills. Like this is stuff that linebackers, running backs, like this is stuff that everybody in the league who was up at the top, like this is what they're working on. He's doing this every day, bro. Every day. And guys, man, I mean, he's also trying to rap. I'm not going to brag on that, but he's out there and he's working hard, man. Like this is, and you know what sucks about this is that it's like he's posting everything and we judge other people like, oh, I wish they were doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that he's posting everything? You know how some guys say, oh, I only post a little bit of it, right? Some guys say I don't post any of it. Do you think he's literally posting everything he's doing? Or do you think that he's doing more? He's just showing us some of the good stuff.
It started off with him posting, things. He was posting workouts, right? He was posting stuff. And then somebody, like I watched the interview of his workouts. Like I watched him interview about how he was training, how he ended up getting with a guy out of Portland that the people wanted him to train with for a long time. And like he is legit putting Portland on the map. He's probably bigger in Portland, Oregon than the Portland Trailblazers right now. Listen. I'm telling you, Kendrick Bourne is out there putting in work, man. And you want to know why? Because in 2020, he is all in on himself. I mean, he's playing for a contract, whether he returns to the 49ers or whether he gets signed by a different team. This is his make it or break it year. And we all know how guys play on their make it or break it years. Kendrick Bourne is going to give his best, and he's going to put his best work out there for everybody to see, for everybody on film. And the one thing that I love about Kyle Shanahan is that he's not Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to say, oh, Wes Welker can get how much money if he gets this amount of catches? All right, man, don't throw to Wes Welker. That's not the way Kyle Shanahan operates his business, man. So I'm super excited to see Kendrick Bourne come out here and show all the work that he's putting in this offseason. Sorry, Sean. And things like that. Yo, Sean must be talking about when I couldn't find, I was searching up stats. Yo, I promise I was trying to do it, Sean, at the same time, but every time Rome comes in the room, Daddy, I gotta go pee-pee. I'm like, then I put the phone down, then I get sidetracked, then it just wasn't happening until my wife came back from grocery shopping. I couldn't get stuff done. And then when she came back, I got some notes. All right. So we're definitely looking forward to see what Kendrick Bourne has to offer in 2020.
And a flip side to this, right? And all right, so somebody else we going to bat for hard on this channel, but at least the two of us anyway, I will say, is Dante Pettis. We have been saying, we think Dante Pettis is going to bounce back and have a really good year, right?
He'll be our next show.
Right. Pettis doesn't show any workout videos, right? And people question his commitment to it. And I talked to you guys about his external hobbies and things like that. Did you see his tweet today?
I did not see his tweet today. Go ahead and share a tweet.
I don't want to misquote him. Let me just pull it up real quick because, and this is the problem. My problem is you have Bourne doing everything that he's doing, right?
Yeah.
And then people saying, "Oh, well, where's Pettis workout videos? Where's this? Where's that from Dante?" Right?
While you're looking that up, I just want to put this disclaimer out here. All right, now every receiver on the San Francisco 49ers are unique. Everyone's different. Everyone has their uniqueness, or I like to look at players as X-Men. Everybody has a different, ability. All right. Dante Pettis is all finesse. He's your finesse guy. He's the guy with the wiggle, the guy that's gonna, juke a player out, make a player fall down, avoid the tackles, right? Like squiggle his way into an end zone, blah, 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 all that good stuff. I'm not sure what his workout videos would do to improve finessing. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't post his workouts. I mean, to each their own. But Dante Pettis was a drafted receiver, and his motive, his MO may just be a little bit different when it comes to things like that. You got a guy like Kendrick Bourne whose mindset is, yo, I'm going to go out here and give 120% every time. I want to be better. I didn't like losing the Super. You hear him talk. Losing the Super Bowl sucked. I don't like that feeling. He doing all this with a smile on his face. And okay, it took him a little bit long to sign that tender. You know what I'm saying? But
he did. And he's here.
And he's all in.
He didn't get traded. See, because you got to remember, Breida signed his tender too. That didn't mean anything. They shipped his ass out of here. But,
and let's talk about that later, man. Right. Go ahead and share what you had. And then we're gonna bring on our boy Avery.
So people kill Pettis about this whole, why isn't he showing workout videos and all that? And he is going on Twitter and said, just because I don't post the videos don't mean it's not happening. He said that. But then he posts stuff like this. And I told you all about all his different hobbies and things like that. And he's a very intelligent guy. Football isn't necessarily his life, right? Anyone into film photography, trying to find a good camera to start with.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you guys follow him like I do, but he's posted pictures of him, animals and all kinds of stuff. Photography is a passion of his. So he posted that, and I'll be honest with you, I was afraid to look at the responses, but yeah, they actually were pretty positive.
Yeah, man, I probably go ahead and give him a tweet myself, man, so I can I'm a Nikon guy, a lot of people out there
brand, bro.
Or a lot of people are Canon, and I get it. And it kind of depends, man. They both work very well. So if Dante, if you're watching this show, I'll hit you up, man, and let you know what my wife uses. She does photography.
And this is what I liked. Now, I didn't see a single message on there. Oh, put the camera down and get in the gym. I love the Niner fans are maturing. Now, they might be over it or him. It might just be, maybe he didn't see the tweet yet, whatever the case is. But I haven't seen a single one. I was so afraid. He tweeted it, and I was like, oh, my God, please have mercy on the Sunday, Lord. Like, please don't do this to this young man on the Sunday. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can see the comments. You see what's going on the right side of our screens right now. Like, I know you see it, bro. And I'm like, yo, like, this is going to get so bad. It's going to get so bad. But thank God, I didn't see any of it. So, all right, let's get back to this thing, man. I'm sorry.
All right, listen, man. We're gonna go ahead and bring in.
You gotta chill, bro.
Go ahead and read that comment. We're gonna go ahead and bring in our special guest.
Okay. This is from N Niner Drag, a $5 contribution. We thank you for your contribution, man. Thanks for watching us. We appreciate it, man. Do you think he can be a respected starter for us or someone else? I'm assuming he's talking about Kendrick Bourne, and that's basically what this entire show is going to be about. We are going to break this all down. We weren't just coming on here to talk about his combine numbers or his stats or anything like that. We're going to break this thing down and try to find out what his identity is, not just in this team, with this team, but in the NFL. And so that's what this entire show is going to be about. So we're going to get to that, I promise you. Excellent question, and that's why we came up with the title of the show, The Bourne Identity. So we're going to break that down. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man. All right, so really quickly, let's just talk about his stats in 2019. All right? Listen. Kendrick Bourne had 30 receptions, 358 yards, 5 TDs. 5 TDs, which means he led the 49ers in touchdowns. All right? He led the 49ers in touchdowns. Now, before I bring in my man Avery, I just want to read you these. He was targeted 44 times. 44 times. All right? His percentage caught was 68.2%, which means he damn near had a C minus. All right?
Well, just to be clear, most quarterbacks don't even pass for 68%. Just think about that for a second. Nothing to do with him. But if that's your quarterback's passing completion percentage, you're happy with that. All right, I'm gonna shut up. I'm done. I just
felt like I got glass jawed in the jaw. All right, his percentage first down was 52.3%. He finished the season with 358 yards. He averaged 11.9 yards a catch. That's a first down every catch. I just want to put that out there, okay? Now, I know he's not the 1,000-yard wide receiver. I get it. Neither was Deebo Samuel. All right, so what I'm trying to say is, what do you guys think Kendrick Bourne's main issue is as a 49er? Like, what was his main issue as a wide receiver? Excuse me. What was Kendrick Bourne's main issue? And we'll talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring in my man Avery, Mr. Cortez. What's going on, my brother?
What is on, everybody? What's up, Mike? What's up, Breeze? What's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me on,
Avery. All right, man. Thank you. So thank you for being on the show today. We truly appreciate you, man. We appreciate all that you do, man. You're out there. You're one of the essential employees out there putting your life on the line each and every day so that guys like me,
yes, sir.
Our families can go ahead and continue to live and be happy and bliss, man. So thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show, fellas. Thank you.
Right, anytime, bro. All right, so we're talking about Kendrick Bourne. I'm sure you were watching. And the question that I have to everyone out there, and the first question to you is, well, what is Kendrick Bourne's weakness? Like, what is the thing that you feel like he needs to improve on the most?
I think it's hands. There's been a lot of times that I've seen him catch the ball and drop it, but at the same time, there's been games that Jimmy throws the ball and he catches it. So it could go halfway, but that's one of the weaknesses that I see in Kendrick Bourne. So, right. But there's one thing I do want to say starting this. I'm going to say it right in here on the show. He will be a number 1 wide receiver next year. I will do 25 clapping push-ups or 50 diamond push-ups for you guys if I am wrong. To
clapping push-ups. My hand hurt right now thinking about clapping push-ups. I could do like
I say it right here on the show, fellas.
Right here on the show. Mike got a question for you, bro.
Yeah, wait, when you say next year, you mean this coming season or the season
this coming season? Yeah.
So in 2020, you're saying he's going to be the. So let's clarify number 1.
Yes.
Now, okay. Let's clarify number one, because see, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys, man. I don't think there's an XYZ in this system. I think
I don't think so either.
Right. But are we saying number one? Are we saying the most productive? And are we saying most productive in yards, touchdowns? I think we should pick a category and see where that stands. Or do you feel like he will lead all of the statistical categories?
Could we throw in what Jimmy G trusts in a player? Like, you know how Jimmy G always trusts his kiddo.
No,
so and on those big plays, Bourne was that guy. So why don't we make a category that Jimmy G trusts? And that's what I feel. I think Jimmy G's trusting him more and more for next season. He will be Jimmy G's guy to take pressure off of Kiddo and Debo. But I feel like Debo will have a slump because this is a sophomore year, and I think people have been following film, and I think this will be a slump, and Bourne will rise from this.
Yo, it's funny that you say that. When I think about Kendrick Bourne, and I think about the progression, like I always look at how players progress. I never look to see where they're like taking. I mean, obviously, if you're drafted in the first round, your expectations are higher. But when you're undrafted or not drafted, I'm not even sure if undrafted is a word. I try typing, it keeps going to red. But when you're not drafted, right?
Right.
I believe like that the expectations are very low. So it's almost like what you see is what you get type out of them. And they could kind of like set their own ceiling. And it's funny that you said drops. You said hands, excuse me.
Hands,
that
correct.
you felt like would be his weakness. Mike, what do you think? What do you think the area he needs to improve on the most?
To Cortez's point, first he said his hands, and I was like, wait, what? He only had 3 drops all season. But then he said, he bobbles it. That is very, very true.
Correct.
A lot of his receptions, second chance, receptions and things like that. I'm not going to say that, though. I think, I'll be honest with y'all, if he could improve on yards after the catch, he would be everybody's number 1 wide receiver for this. People would love him if he could improve on that. He can continue to bobble the way he did because everybody loves Debo, right? And Debo led the team in drops, right? He can continue to people saying, "Oh, he ran the wrong route." That happened twice all last year.
I'm mad you slid that up in there, but that's cool. Keep it moving.
Yeah. I'm not going. I wasn't going.
Not the Debo show, but I got you.
Yeah, 9-3. That's all. It's cool. It's what it is. But the people saying, "Oh, he lined up in the wrong spot." It happened once. He ran the wrong routes. Happened twice. You know what I'm saying? But he's also not getting as many opportunities as anybody else. Shanahan is going on the record and said, "I love this guy. He plays whether it's practice or in the Super Bowl. He's the same guy down and down out." Any coach in the entire league at any position will tell you the one thing they want is consistency. So we know what we're getting from a play when we put him in there. Every coach values that. That is their top thing. We need to know what we're going to get from when we put you out there. So he's got all that. He's got the ability. He brings energy and all that stuff. I'm telling you, if he could break a tackle and run for an extra 7 or 8 yards after every reception, he would shoot right to the top of everybody's thing. I'm not going to sit here because he also doesn't get a lot of opportunity. He only had 30 receptions this year. And that was his second. That's a decrease in productivity as far as receptions go from the year before. So he just needs more opportunity. And the Niners are steadily bringing in 2 receivers a year, trying to get him off the team. But that he just won't go away. He's like a cockroach, man. You just can't kill him. He's coming back. KB the cockroach. He's coming back, and you just got to deal with him. You got to deal with him, man.
May I ask a question to you, fellas?
Sure.
Do you think that he has a chip on his shoulder because they brought him back, and this is like he's trying to say, you guys try to screw me over so many times, now it's my time to shine?
Do you think okay, let's answer your question before I ask that question. I absolutely think he has a chip on his shoulder. I don't think it's for the reason that you're saying. I just believe that he's been playing with a chip on his shoulder for a very long time. I mean, He's always been somebody's number 2, either you're complacent and you accept that I'm a number 2 or number 3 or number 4, or you don't. And I think that's why Avery, he has the chip on his shoulder. I think he is going to go out there and shock the world, yo.
Listen, I'm his biggest supporter, so I'm all for it.
No,
I take him over Debo any day, and I say that proudly.
Wait a minute. Wow, you are saying stop. You
I don't
about to
say
get
that
us with it?
proudly.
Click, boo! We about to get shot off the show. Wait a minute.
I say that proudly, and then I feel it because I just feel the trust with Jimmy and him is more than him and Debo. When Jimmy hit those big passes, it was usually Bourne.
Bourne was the clutch go-to guy.
It was, and I felt like Jimmy G was like, "I'm gonna put this in your hands. You better catch it. I'm trusting you."
But I don't think I would take him over Debo, and it's because Bourne isn't as electrifying as Debo.
Yeah.
Like, so what's Kyle's biggest thing? Kyle loves what? Yak, right?
Yeah.
And Bourne is not that. But when you're talking about comfort, this is what Kendrick Bourne does, right? How many yards we need? 12. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom, catch, boom. Like, that's it. Like, that's that. Yo, and that's why Jimmy is going to Kendrick Bourne on those crucial downs, right? It's because of that. So I don't think he would ever. I don't think because of the lack of ability of being able to get the yards after the catch, and I know that's something Mike wants to see. I just don't think I want that from him. I just want him to catch the goddamn ball and just fall down or do something. Just catch the ball, and I'll be satisfied with whatever Kendrick Bourne brings, because I know that's his ability. If you watching him in this offseason, you can see that he is working to get his hands to make those hands stronger, right? He's working to make sure that he is securing ball. This dude is catching tennis balls while balancing himself on a big ass ball. Like, that's hard. Go ahead, Mike.
I want to answer Cortez's question about, do we think he has a chip on his shoulder because they brought him back, and it was because they're bringing in other wide receivers, right? That's what you're saying? Okay. That was your question, right?
Yeah, that was my question.
Okay.
Correct.
So I think he has a chip on his shoulder. I don't think that's why, though. I don't think that's why. So that's the only reason I want the answers, because I have a different answer than Breezy. He was undrafted. He wasn't expected to make the team in the first place. He knew that from the moment he walked in, there were 7 guys ahead of him on this depth chart. He knew it from the moment he walked in. And then the year after that, they drafted 2 wide receivers. The year after that, they drafted 2 wide receivers. This year, we drafted 2 wide receivers. He knows that they are looking to get him off this team. They want to make it so that there is someone here that we don't need him. But like I said, KB the cockroach, you can't get rid of him. And so I don't think that that's the chip on his shoulder. I just wanted to answer that question, and then we can get back to your regularly scheduled program now. All right, I'm going to shut up.
No, man, you guys are hitting right on the head. Mike, your turn to ask a question about Kendrick Bourne.
All right, so I want to get to this contribution here again from Niner Drag. He says, easy on Debo, led in drops and catches among wide receivers for our team from the beginning and even after Sanders. Now, that doesn't mean that we're trashing Debo.
Oh, no, not at all.
I like Debo. I love Debo, as a matter of fact. But what I made my point about the drops was just that. It was just about the drops, okay? It was just to let you guys know that people who say, oh, he's got to work on his drops, no one says that about Debo. I've never heard anybody say that about Debo.
Me
but
neither.
For whatever reason.
Or his fumbles.
Right. But for whatever reason, it's Kendrick Bourne's like, I don't like him because of his drops. Literally 3 times as much. Literally 3 times as much. So I just don't understand that. But, we'll get back to that later on. And then he has another comment here from Niner Drag. Remember, Debo dictated the flow of the game with Kittle. Made it easy for Bourne to catch on third and red zone touches. Right? Now, here's the thing. See, I'm going to sound like I'm bashing Debo. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Never mind. I'll shut up. I'm not going to say it.
No, say it.
Listen, man. Samuel is a very talented guy with the ball in his hands. I'm not going to sit here and theorize as to why, but there's a reason Shanahan started using him as a runner and giving him tosses out of the backfield as opposed to having him run all kinds of intricate routes. I don't know what the reason is, but for whatever reason, Kyle had to come up with creative ways to put the ball in his hand. He has never had to do that with Debo. I mean, not with Debo, with Kendrick.
Kendrick Bourne.
It's get out there, run the routes, be my guy on third downs, be my guy in red zone, and let's keep the chains moving. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to trash Debo, but when we keep comparing these 2 guys, it's going to be one guy versus the other. I don't want it to be that way because they're both on the 49ers. Every single one of them has an important role. This goes back to what Breezy was saying, that There's no X, Y, or Z guy on this team. What he meant by that was, it's not that there's not those positions on the team when they line up.
Correct.
What he's saying is you can take one guy and put him over here. You can take this guy and put him back over there, and vice versa, and put everybody everywhere. That's what damn it, I called you Debo. That's what Breezy was saying. He was saying that there's not one guy that is allotted to one specific role on this roster.
Correct.
That's what he was talking about. So
That's
I just wanted to clear all that up.
Thank you so much. And that's exactly what I was talking about. And you got to look at it as if it's a matchup nightmare for the defense, because when you see Debo lining up split at the X, and then all of a sudden he's lined up inside at the Z, and then he comes out to the Y, like it's like, oh my God, like who am I putting on him to cover? Or same thing with Kendrick Bourne. Is he lining up in the slot? Is he not lining up in the slot? If Kendrick Bourne, I've seen Kendrick Bourne line up all the way on the X2, all right, so we've seen it, right? We've seen where there was 3 wide receiver sets, right? No tight ends. Like, there's just so many different intricate things that Kyle Shanahan likes to do, all right? Avery, I'm going to take you off mute, my brother, so you can go ahead and talk.
I got a question for you guys. If they took Bourne out of this offense, do you think the offense would skip a beat or no? Do you think it would just hurt or no? You think it would just keep flowing?
Mike,
why don't you go first this time? I'll go second.
It's really, really rough to say because there were so many injuries last year. Like if Bourne was gone last year, that means what? Richie James or Pettis are getting more snaps?
Correct.
Last year, yeah, we missed a beat. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Yeah. We missed a beat last year. Now this year, there are 4 new wide receivers in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 new wide receivers in the mix for this coming year. Now you take him out and then you put those 4 in here, maybe not so much, but you have BA, you have Brandon Ayuk, you have Jennings if he makes the roster, then you have Hurd and you have Taylor.
Yep.
Those 4 guys were not available at all last year, and so it's going to be way different because if Taylor returns back to the form that he was, all of a sudden he becomes a third down guy, he becomes a chain mover. So then, no, we're not missing anything. You know, if we look at what Jalen Hurd's strength was based off of his preseason film, he's a red zone guy. So that also replaces what Kittle was doing for us. I mean, not Kittle. Damn, why am I doing that so much?
Bourne.
Bourne was doing for us. So this year, if healthy, knock on wood, no. But last year, yes, we do miss something.
I definitely agree with you on the last year contribution. But guys, we don't know what Jalen Hurd would do in this offense.
Nope.
We don't know what the 2 rookie wide receivers that we drafted would do in this offense in the NFL. They never played a down in the NFL before. Now that has Jalen Hurd. So guess what he is? A effing rookie. And the only guy we know that has production and touchdowns is Trent Taylor. But we still don't know what the heck he's going to do. You know why? Because the offense is different from when he first was playing with the offense. We got new pieces. We got better pieces. So I'm just going to say, Kendrick Bourne was tendered, right? Because he is an intricate piece in this offense. Now, it makes sense that they're not going to go out and offer this guy a ton of money and sign him to a 3-year deal. I get it. Because they're continuing to look on how to build the team, from the trenches and dirt cheap and all that good stuff. But they were able to get him on a $3 million deal, and they're going to milk the hell out of it. And Kendrick Bourne better go out there and show up and show out. Like this is his opportunity to say to the whole NFL, he can give the whole NFL the middle finger right here in this particular season and do it by winning the Super Bowl. How good would that feel? You want to talk about a chip on the shoulder of Kendrick Bourne going out there, winning a championship on $3 million salary and then earning a contract? Oh my gosh. Like this is on him. So for this year, I would say if he's not in this offense, I think we skip a beat too. Why? Because it's football is throwing to a receiver like riding a bike. And if it is, when you get on the bike the first time, if you ain't rode it in 2 or 3 years, you still struggle a little bit. Your balance is a little off. So if Jimmy G came in and Trent Taylor came in and they're trying to get in sync, that might be off a little bit. You might see some pick sixes, right? And we don't want that. Like we don't want that, right? So I think Kendrick Bourne is an intricate piece in the offense this season, and we will skip a beat if he's not on the field this season as well.
Thank you for answering my question.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
All right, so now sorry, go ahead, Breezy.
No, I didn't say anything.
So then, look, we want to define a role for this guy, right? So this is my thing. There's going to be about 68 to 75 plays for the offense in the game. All right, we need to identify a role for him.
Yes, and that's the tricky part.
How many snaps a game is Kendrick Bourne going to take? Look, what 68 to 75. Let's aim somewhere in the middle and put it at 71. Is that good for everybody?
Okay.
Out of 71 offensive snaps in the game, how many is Kendrick Bourne going to be on the field for? How many are Kendrick Bourne going to be on the? How many snaps will Kendrick Bourne take in a 71 offense? I don't know how to say. I can't focus right now.
I think he gets at least half, right?
I gotta agree with you, Breezy. I say half. I do say half.
So that's about 50% of those snaps. I mean, here and my reasoning, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, or state your bid or whatnot, is he's gaining more confidence with the playbook, right? So, I mean, Kendrick Bourne is a hell of a freaking blocker. So if we're running the ball, you want him on that field, right? If we're throwing the ball and it's all situational downs, like I don't see Kendrick Bourne being a situational player yet. I see him as a starter. And I know we drafted a wide receiver in the first round, and we know we're gonna have to see him on this field. But I think Kendrick Bourne plays 50% of those snaps simply because he's familiar with the playbook now. He's clearly working on things. You need him in the red zone. You're going to see a lot of 49er red zone football. Like, who you want to throw to in the red zone and who hasn't proven himself yet. We definitely want to see Kittle improve in the red zone. And that's just not his thing. That's just not what Kittle is great at. Kittle is great at catching the ball and running mother suckers over, right? Like, Kendrick Bourne knows where to get those feet in bounds. He knows how to catch that ball, toe tag, toe drag, swag, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I think he sees at least 50% of the snaps due to the fact that he's comfortable with Jimmy G, he's comfortable with the system, and he's out there putting in work.
All right, so Avery agreed with you on that. Now, I do have some numbers for you guys for this question, okay?
Okay.
Last year, he took 465 total snaps, okay? His high during all 16 games was 59. That was against Seattle in Week 9. That was the game that we lost. His low was 10, which is also against Seattle, which is strange. That was Week 16. I wonder why he only had 10 snaps that game. Anyway, but he finished with an average of 29 snaps a game. Now, this is, again, guys, without Brandon Ayuk, without Jennings. I don't know if he's going to make the roster. You can count him or you don't. Correct. We know Ayuk is going to make the roster. He's a first-round draft pick. We know he's going to make the roster. They're anticipating Hurd and Taylor coming back off of IR. Okay. Now, you also have to remove Sanders, right? So let's say Sanders and Ayuk cancel each other out. You have Jennings, you have Taylor, and you have Hurd in the mix. How does this affect his snap count? You guys think it goes up or stays? I mean, do you guys still feel that same way? With him having 29 snaps a game last year, you think it stays that way?
I have one point to bring up to that. And I don't know if it was Breezy or Nick that said this. I don't think none of our rookies, wide receivers, will start for a couple weeks just because of what everything is going on with the virus. There's no training camps. So I think off the gate, it'll be Bourne, it'll be Debo for a couple weeks, just for our new wide receivers and everybody can just get in the system and see how everything's running under Kyle. So I think in the half start of the season, Bourne will be up. His snap count will be up a lot. But I think towards the end, I think it will be gradually going down because Kyle will start bringing in all the rookies and stuff.
Okay. All right. And I believe that was Nick that said that. I'm gonna hold to my horses on that one because I think you don't trade up in the first round to let a guy sit on the bench. So I do believe that. I think Ayuk is going to get in there right away, get a lot of snaps. I'm not saying that he's going to be a 3-down player, but I think he's going to get in there a lot. Go ahead, Breezy.
Yeah, you know, when you're rooting for a guy, you definitely want to see him on the field all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something that you want to see because with more opportunities, the more production. Like, and it's unfortunate that they continue to, they add wide receivers. They want to better their team, and it's cool when you have a guy that you say, yo, I just want to know what more can he do with more chances and more opportunity. When they call on number 84, he does his best in producing. I mean, with 3 drops last season, and a lot, so the percentage was 68% where he's catching the ball. Obviously, it was like 11 passes, or 12 passes, or 14 passes, or something like that, to where they were just uncatchable balls, right? So his percentage rate was still relatively high. It's relatively good. It's hard to not put the guys on the field that produce. Like I understand we want to see the young guns come in there and we want to see them and see how well they run. But if Ayuk comes in the game and he doesn't run the right route, we're just gonna say, oh, he's just a rookie. Or if Ayuk doesn't come in the game, if he comes in the game and he misses a bobble catch and it gets intercepted, are we gonna just say it's just the rookie? I mean, I know I'm not that man. He's a first-round draft pick. He better be all hands, all gas, on brakes if he's starting with this offense. You get what I'm saying? But with Kendrick Bourne, it's just like you're hoping that his snaps increase. Because he's proven that he can produce. He just needs opportunity. This goes all the way back to his collegiate days. It's unfortunate that there was another guy on his college team named Cooper Kupp. Because I would love to see if there was no Cooper Kupp, would Bourne have got those opportunities, or would they have brought in somebody else or whatnot? You know what I'm saying? So Bourne, it's just unfortunate that if he does receive around the same amount of snaps, because that's kind of where Mike is alluding to. Like, he's probably going to get around the 29, which is his. I think that, would you say his high snap count was 70 something?
No, his highest snap count was 59. 59? I just broke it down by percentages also, just so you guys know. He finished the season taking 43.85. Let's just call it 44. He finished the season taking 44% of the snaps.
Yeah.
44% of the snaps, which is not bad at all.
Which is close to my what?
That's your 50%.
That's
yeah,
my 50%.
Right, yeah, you guys are right there. You guys are right there, man. You just said something that was really interesting. You talked about how it's unfortunate that there was a guy ahead of him, right?
Yeah.
You know who I heard that same exact thing about?
Uh-oh.
Our first-round draft pick in Brandon Ayuk. Because there was another wide receiver ahead of him last year.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yes. So, it's
N'Keal Harry.
Yes, sir.
Patriots. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Another first round pick. So it's funny that you said that, and it's just ringing bells and throwing stuff at me. Let's get this comment, and we'll keep the show moving. But yeah, man. So he's right there, 44%. You guys might be onto it, man. 50% right there. You guys are talking that talk, man. I like the way y'all heads are going. It shows you that you're on par for what's going on. So it's good stuff, fellas.
All right. So Sean says, great convo. Bourne has a knack for clutch plays. I don't think he will start. He ran almost a 4.7. My grandma runs faster and she don't have legs. Man, Sean, thank you for the contribution, man. We appreciate that. Your grandma's a fast runner. All right. And then I think Niner Drag said, I like Bourne to make TDs, first downs as a number 2 possession situational wide receiver. So my man Niner Drag just gave us a role for Kendrick Bourne. And we're trying to figure out what Bourne's identity is with the 49ers. And this may be exactly what his identity is. And that's what we're trying to conclude when we get to the end of the show. Like, where do we see Kendrick Bourne? Is he the slot guy? That's possession, right? Is he a guy that's going to move chains? Is he going to be a guy that, because he had one big play. He had a play for 30 yards, I believe. So, it's possible he could be alluded to another role to add more to his slot receiving role, right? Especially with Trent Taylor coming back. What if Bourne is the jack of all trade? Like, what if he's a guy that, hey, man, I need you to line up at the X. I need you to line up at the Y. I need you to line up at the Z. Like, what if he's just that guy And this is where he goes out and earns his contract. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, Avery.
Breezy, I don't want to cut you off, but I got to ask you and Mike this question. Could Kyle use Bourne as a sneak attack on the field when you have that play and the defense hasn't seen him play all the whole game, and Kyle just throw him in those big clutch plays? Here, Jimmy's going to throw you the ball. Get those 10, 11 yards from me back, you know?
What do you think? You want to go first, Mike? You want me to go first?
It's funny he's saying that because I was over here. I'm looking. That is great. I'm looking at his snap counts and how it's relevant to the games that were close, right? I swear. So you guys remember that the Seattle game? That was, kicked to go into overtime. Almost won it in overtime. Da-da-da-da-da.
It's a game I got highlighted, brother.
71% of the snaps there. Shanahan knew he needed him out there. He needed that guy to be the valve for Jimmy Garoppolo. 70, that was his highest output. You look at the game.
Well, can I just add to that? Can I add to that game?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have what's on my list, so if you're reading it, I'll just go ahead and add. So I just want to say he led the game with 8 targets, which means so that was the guy that Jimmy was going to. He had 8 targets in that game. He averaged 10.5 yards a catch. All right. I think he had 4 catches in that game. He had 4 receptions, and he had a touchdown in that particular game. Unfortunately, we didn't get the W, but Kendrick Bourne was the go-to guy in that particular game.
Right. The game where he played the highest percentage. Now, we didn't have a lot of offense that game, but it was 57 snaps, but he played 89% of the snaps. That was the Washington game.
All right.
Where
go ahead.
Shanahan defined him as the mutter. We needed guys who could perform in any situation. It was him and Richie James.
Yes.
Right? Like, this is another clutch situation. Then I'm flipping it, and I'm looking at the number of the lowest snaps, right? Now, this is where it gets weird. Seattle, week 16 or week 17, our last game of the year. He took only 20% of those snaps. I'm wondering if he was injured because this was also his lowest output on special teams. Kendrick Bourne plays special teams as well. He only had 5 special team snaps and only 10 snaps against Seattle. I'm wondering if he was injured. Let's cross that one off, right? But then his next lowest output was a blowout game against the Cleveland Browns, where he only took 16 snaps at 21%. Another game where it was pretty one-sided was our third week where it was Tampa, right? It was a high-scoring game for the Niners, 31-17. He only took 25% of the snaps. It's just I'm wondering if there's a correlation there where the games that he took more snaps, they were closer. The New Orleans Saints game was his third. I told you guys about Seattle, told you about Washington. Then there's the Saints game. It was a constant back and forth, right? That was his third highest output. I'm wondering if there's a correlation to it. Avery, you might be onto something, bro.
Yeah, you talked about clutch, man. You talked about clutch, being a clutch guy. Yes, but I just want to address Avery's question before he has to get off. So you said, could he be used as a sneak attack guy? I don't think so. And the reason being is he has 3 years on film. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, people know Kendrick Bourne. They know they just don't know how to defend him. Like he's almost undefendable. I mean, when you got a guy that comes in and gets a first down just about damn near every time he catches the ball, like it's really hard to defend that. Like he's a possession guy. Like it's hard to defend those guys. I do think his receptions go up because I think they're going to be passing the ball a lot more. Remember, we ran the ball a lot. So these are reasons why the wide receiver numbers are down as well. And Deebo's numbers were great because he was able to be electrifying in running the ball. I don't want Kendrick Bourne running the ball anywhere out of the backfield or lining up. I don't think he'll be used as a sneak attack, Avery. So go ahead and finish up so we can go ahead and do your little shout out real quick, man. And then
and that's it, guys. I mean, thank you so much for letting me be on the show, fellas. It was a blessing. Like I said, you guys keep me going when I'm out there in the field and stuff. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Tony, Nick, and you fellas to keep me smiling and keep me going during these hard times, fellas. Seriously.
Yeah, man. Now check this out, guys. If you haven't seen it, I know Mike's is on the way. Mike hasn't received his yet. But listen, man, this was a custom design picture painted by I'm trying to hold it straight. It's weird when I'm on the camera. Painted by Alyssa, who is my man Avery's wife, man. She does these customized. They talk to you. They say, hey, man, what do you want? and you go ahead and tell them, and they go ahead and create the images, and they know I'm into entertainment, so they gave me my film strips, they gave me the gas, the chain for the brakes going around here. If you guys can see that close up, man, go ahead, man, and follow her at Sunray underscore studios underscore design on Instagram, man, and give her a shout out, man. She will paint
Yes.
anything custom made. Avery, talk a little bit about her before you.
Anything, guys. And this we're really humble, and I know this is a Niner show, but if you're any fans out there, you guys can contact us. You know, we're just trying to get her going and stuff. And babe, I love you. I know you're watching this right now at work. You know, thank you for supporting me during this time and with me being at the hospital and working all these crazy hours. But yeah, just hit us up. She's good at cleats, gloves, jerseys, and custom paint work like Breezy's. Breezy's was hard, but she got it done. But you guys can message her, and she will make anything. I know she can make the stadium too, but it's a lot of work. So you have to inbox us a couple weeks, but she can make the whole Levi Stadium. Only things you can't do is just do players. I tried to ask Richard Sherman. She yelled at me. So I tried for you guys. But anything, like I said, she can do it. So, but like I said, thank you, fellas, so much.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
That's a good sign of somebody who cares about their craft, right? She could have easily said, yeah, I'll try to do it and made it for you, right? But she cares about what's going to be presented to people. Wait, this is my product. I can't have something that I don't like. It's not up to her standards.
Right.
Putting it out there. So that shows someone who's passionate about their craft. I like that a lot. We appreciate what she does. We appreciate what you do for us, man. Those essential workers, man. We did a show to you guys, man. We salute you guys.
Thank you.
Respect you guys. Thank you guys very much, man. We really appreciate you guys.
Hey, thank you guys. Listen, like I said, I'll be back on to get my push-ups from you guys. So,
oh, you put that push-up challenge on here, man.
I'm ready for it. But thank you guys so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, man. Sir. You be safe out there, man.
Stay, my brother. We'll chat.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Peace out.
That's my guy. Avery, man. Good guy right there.
Great.
So, guy. Man, look. I mean, look, how are we breaking this down for my man? How are we doing this for Kendrick Bourne, bro?
All right, so I think we'll go ahead and we'll end the show on trying to, what is Bourne's identity? What is the Bourne identity? All right, and I think we'll each go ahead and take a crack at it. Only we know the disclaimer. Only Kyle knows his identity. We understand that, but us as who we are, we're going to try to sit here and try to figure it out as well, because we've seen Kendrick Bourne be utilized in many different ways. We know his strengths. You guys talked about his weaknesses today, right? You talked about running the right plays, lining up in the right position, things like that. We seen him get yelled at by a rookie, right? We talked about him with his drops. 3 drops on a year, that ain't bad, man. I'm thinking that's not bad. We know he doesn't have speed. We know he lacks the speed. Mike wants to see more yak. Maybe he's working on that. Maybe he's leaning out. Maybe he's trying to get faster. There's so many different things that we don't know until we see him play. So, Mike, me to you, what is the Bourne identity in 2020?
I'm going to try not to be long-winded here, but there's a lot that goes into this, right? I've heard people talk about the benefits of playing across from a number 1 wide receiver, right? And it's that you get the worst corner, okay? Kendrick Bourne wasn't viewed as the 49ers' number 1 option at wide receiver. He wasn't even viewed as the number 2 option for the 49ers. It was Debo and it was Sanders. And so he had this, you're getting the worst coverage on you of anybody else. You better bring in those catches. You better convert those third downs. You better get those touchdowns when we throw it to you. You know what I'm saying? And so it really makes me step back and contemplate on what I think and what we should expect from Kendrick Bourne this year. Because if he's viewed as a number 1 wide receiver, then he should be getting number 1 coverage. His production probably will go down then, right? He's not being covered by the top corners in the NFL. He is getting the benefit of the doubt of being the low man on the totem pole. And teams they refuse to adjust because they'd rather get beat by our third option than our first option. You know what I mean? That's how you end up on SportsCenter. That's how you end up on the NFL Network replays. Like, oh my God, look at what Debo just did. Look at what George Kittle just did. Look at what Sanders just did. That Sanders touchdown throw. You know, he wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that. But because Sanders was so Bourne has to do what he's being called to do. And I like him. I really hope that he has a good season. I said it before that I think Pettis is going to be the guy this year. I just think that we should, trying to be the voice of reason, I think we should temper expectations for Kendrick Bourne this season. I know my man Avery feels like he's going to be the number one wide receiver. We drafted a guy in the first round. We have Deebo Samuel here already. We have George Kittle here already. Kendrick Bourne beating all three of those guys out is such a tall task. Forget what I said about Pettis. Him beating those three out is such a tall task already, right? And he's benefited from not being the guy. He's got more people paying attention to him now, right? You said it yourself. He is the guy in Portland. He is the guy up there in Washington, right? He's got people paying attention to him. You were in the Super Bowl. He started his charity because he said so himself. I'm starting to get a little bit more notoriety. Now I can go ahead and start my charity for autism and all that stuff. He knows it too. People know his name now. And what happens as soon as people know who you are? They focus on you. They get tunnel vision. We got to stop that guy. It's third down now. Guess who teams are going to target on third down for the 49ers? It's going to be Kendrick Bourne. His job is going to get harder. It does not get easier. Now, he's putting in the work. We see the workout videos and all that stuff. He is out there hustling his ass off. I don't know what it's going to equate to, but I think it's unfair for the fans to want to see him make this huge jump this year coming off of the season that he just had. A season that had less targets, less receptions than the year before. Those are my final thoughts on Debo. I mean, damn it, on Bourne.
Well, I sure hope he's not watching it. No, I'm just playing. No, listen, man. Sean says every receiver we have has more talent. He has more heart. Love this comment, man, because this is where I'm going to go with my take and his role. Listen, man, when it comes to the wide receiver core, I already went out and said that I think Deebo Samuel steps up and becomes that leader. But Kendrick Bourne is the veteran. All right. So he is now the veteran role of the wide receiver core for the 49ers. He is the old guy in the camp. I just really think that, okay, his numbers may not go through the roof. Why? Well, Mike just alluded and explained exactly why. Kendrick Bourne has always been the guy in role B. He's been the B-roll guy, right? He's always been the guy or the player that the teams aren't targeting, right? So then when he goes out there, he's able to produce. That doesn't take away from his abilities, his skill set, or anything like that. When he's throwing the ball, he best to catch it, and he best to do what he does with the ball, score touchdowns. Here's the thing that I do expect from Kendrick Bourne, to only continue to improve in all of the areas of what a wide receiver is. Whether you're number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, or number 5 on the depth chart. All right. Kendrick Bourne is playing in an offense that has allowed him to develop. I'm not sure if he's been able to develop. He like in the ways that he has. Kendrick Bourne is also, Mike talked about this when we talked about Mike McGlinchey. Mike talked about becoming a grown man and getting grown man strength. Kendrick Bourne is going to be 24 years old, 26 years, 20. He came in at 22, 23, 24, 25 years old. This boy is starting to become, in his adulthood. Like, he's 25. So he's starting to grow up. He's starting to mature. That does not mean you're going to stop seeing him dancing. I don't want him to take that personality trait away from him, because that's who he is. He is the guy that likes to have fun. But I can tell you one thing. I don't know what his identity is going to be, because I don't know what role Kyle Shanahan wants him to play. I will say this. His identity, you ever see the movie Identity? Y'all ever see that movie Identity with John Cusack?
Oh, that's the dude that had like all the different personalities in his head, right?
Kendrick Bourne might have 12 identities on this team, man. He might be the person that Kyle Shanahan, as what Avery said, would he be that guy that he calls on to, not run a trick play, but just do something different to where defenses just don't know how to, they got multiple guys on the field, and we're going to bring in Kendrick Bourne out of nowhere. Oh my God, who's going to cover Kendrick Bourne? We know he's going to get a first down when he can. Damn, don't act like y'all don't play Madden and somebody they call the wrong formation and your wrong formations on defense. You just don't got a guy to cover a slot guy. Next thing you know, it's 4th and 12 and you give up the first down. This is what Kyle is going to do with Kendrick Bourne. Granted that who we getting back, if we're getting back the guys we say that we're going to get back, and I promise you guys we're wrapping this up because I know everybody wants to see the last 2 episodes of The Last Dance. I just think Kendrick Bourne is going to have multiple identities, and I feel like that's fair to say. He's not going to lead you in catches, but he may lead you in touchdowns. He's not going to lead you in yards, but he may lead you in touchdowns.
Or first downs. Third down conversions.
First downs.
He is consistently the team's best kept secret.
Yeah. And on that note, I'm done. Yeah, and that's what his identity is. He's the best kept secret. And as a coach, you always hear that cliche, well, I'm out here playing chess while the other coaches are playing checkers. You hear that all the time. You have to believe this is what Kyle has been doing, man. And he's probably not giving the league a healthy dose on what Kendrick Bourne is or who he can become for a reason. Now, yeah, he has some film, and yes, he can convert third downs, and yes, he's averaging first downs, and yes, he makes tough catches and drops some of the easy passes. Okay, cool, no problem. But here's the thing: don't expect Kyle to not use him. It's funny that the worst game we saw him play on TV was the Seattle game, but it was also one of his productive games. He didn't have the most yards, but he was targeted the most. Yeah, he had 2 drops in there in that particular game, but he still was averaging a first down, and he still scored on that defense. And it's just I get it. He's not the star or the NFL star that I said that I feel like he's going to become. He may not become a star with the 49ers, but I still believe he will end up becoming a star in the NFL. Why? Work ethic. Work ethic. Jerry Rice wasn't a star when he was drafted, guys. And I'm not comparing him to Jerry Rice. This is not what this is. I'm just saying he wasn't a star. If he was a star when drafted, he would have got picked top 4 or 5. Don't care whether you need him or not. So these guys, Jerry Rice was known as his work ethic. Look at T.O. in the 3rd round. We're talking about guys, that, came in and learned under greats. I think that 1 year, and I'm not saying Emmanuel Sanders is the greatest wide receiver of all time, but that 1 year under some leadership, some strong identifying coaching or things like that, I just think that kind of trickled the mindset of these players. You know what I'm saying? And it's Kendrick Bourne's mindset, as you can see, I don't think I've ever seen a guy work out like Kendrick Bourne. And I watch workouts all the time, Mike, and I don't think I've ever seen someone say, hey, I just want to be better. I want to improve. I want to do this. And we know they're doing it, but he wants the world to see, listen, yo. And it took him a minute to sign the tender too. We're just oh man, he must be upset. And then what was his tweet? Remember his tweet was weird? It was a weird reading of the tweet. Man, Kendrick Bourne's out here congratulating the rookies that got drafted now. Do you understand? He was in his feelings for probably a hot second, got over it. That's maturity. So factor in maturity, factor in the fact that he's consistently the same type of player that Kyle Shanahan wants him to be. And I just think that Kendrick Bourne is the Bourne 12 identities. It's just what I think it is.
He is definitely a gadget player. He is the guy that can be whatever you need him to be at any given moment. And that's what makes him special, man. That's exactly what makes him special. Not going to run the fastest, jump the highest, be the strongest, or any of that stuff. But he's going to be the guy you need him to be at every moment. the different personalities. That's exactly what Breezy is talking about. We weren't comparing him to Jerry Rice or anything like that, guys. Rice was a first-round pick. Like, come on, we're not. That's not what we're doing here. So we get it. We know he set the rookie record. He set some rookie records and all that. It's not what we're going for there. But keep it in context, guys. Come on, we're good here. We're good here. And that's it, man. They got you as the president of the KB fan club, bro.
I just got to get me a KB jersey, man. I'm scared to buy one because I feel like, when I buy jerseys, the players end up leaving.
That's the curse right there. Hey.
So
bye. He out.
I don't think, my man says I need to temper my expectations so I don't get heartbroken. It's not even that. Like, I've watched the guy go from the gutter to the Super Bowl. So how can you not expect me to not have expectations for or root for a player that went undrafted? I would be saying the same thing if Matt Breida was still on this team and he was still productive. You guys hate when we talk about Matt Breida. You guys love Matt Breida. I love Kendrick Bourne, yo. This kid was always the second best, or always the sloppy seconds. That's kind of how you want to look at it.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it'll be a mistake for teams to keep on putting their worst guy on Kendrick Bourne. He will continue to make teams pay.
Yep.
He'll continue to make plays, and he will get that contract. He might not get that 17, 18 million.
Right.
But he'll start sniffing at 8 million. You watch what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be sniffing at 8 million following this contract. You watch. As long as teams keep disrespecting him, he's going to take advantage of those opportunities. That's what he's done his entire career.
That's the chip
even
on the
back
shoulder,
in Eastern Washington.
Yep. And that's the chip on the shoulder, bro.
Yep. Yes, sir. And that's it, man. I'm good, man. Anything else from you, bro? I'm done, man. I know people want to go back and watch. I've seen these last couple episodes already, so I know some of you guys want to go out there and check this show out on ESPN right now. So, any final thoughts from you, man?
Nah, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. We wanted to just bring you like the Bourne Identity series, and as he continues to grow with the 49ers, we'll end up going to Bourne Supremacy and then Bourne Legacy. Like, hopefully, he ends up becoming a 49er for his career, man. The one thing we don't do is we don't like to see 49er players go, but we know that it's a business and we know that it happens. Remember earlier in the year, I specifically said, listen, I don't know if Kendrick Bourne is going to be a 49er, but no matter where he goes, I'm rooting for the kid. And I totally mean that, yo. And like my man Kenny says, he can see Bourne getting traded, and it can possibly happen, especially if production is good. So, guys, man, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Mike, we signing off, brother.
Sorry, job called. Well, I'm sorry.
No.
What was your last words?
We signing off, baby.
Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, I don't have any final thoughts. I broke it all down there. I apologize about that. I'm on call, and my job just called, so I apologize about that, guys. I got to get going anyway. So perfect timing, man. Look at it. Everything happens for a reason. Look at how the timing worked out. That's what I'm talking about. KB is going to be here. He's going to be productive, and that's what it's all about. The Niners on their way up, man. If KB is the worst wide receiver on your team, you in a damn good spot.
Yeah, man.
You in a damn good spot. So that's going to be it, man. I tell you what, he's also going to make it hard for some of these other guys to make the roster this year. So that's another show for another time, man. It's a teaser right there. So
I kind of like doing this on Sunday, Mike. So, hey, guys, who do you want the next player to be? Drop us an email, and we'll go ahead and break down that player, and we'll cover a different player each and every Sunday, man. So go ahead and talk about it, Mike. Let's go ahead and put that
spotlight show. I like that. And by the way, guys, be ready for Wednesday night, guys. We haven't done one of these in a long time. I am ready to do a faithful show. We want you guys to come on here and voice your opinions. You guys have had the offseason. You've had the draft. You have had the loss of the Super Bowl. It's time to open up the phones, open up the floor to you guys. Call in, guys. That's going to be on Wednesday, so make sure you guys are ready for that as well, okay? Wednesday is going down, all right? So make sure you guys are ready. I'm going to aim for like an 9 p.m. time to start the show. Make sure you guys are here and ready to call in and sound off whatever you guys want. I'm not even going to put a restriction on language. You guys can say whatever it is. Some people are pissed off about the Super Bowl loss. So I can't wait to talk to the faithful about that, man. So make sure you guys are ready. Let us know what player you want us to spotlight next Sunday, and we can go ahead and do that too. All right. You guys know the email already. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. Bong. Nothing. NB9ERS at nothingbutniners.com. So shoot us the emails over there, and we'll be in touch with you guys. All right. That's going to do it for us for tonight, man. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always Remain faithful.
faithful. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.